Ladies and gentlemen, lords and ladies, please give a warm tournament welcome to your herald, Darin Gee!
Hey, how we doing? Woo! Oh, I'm so excited! Welcome! Anybody from Philomath around here? Oh, I can't hear you! Oh, want to welcome everybody to Philomath down here in wonderful Oregon. And also want to thank the team that's kind of helped us and actually is our host here, 847. That's the Team Fred. You guys, you can't miss them. They got the cool orange hats and stuff. Give them a big hand. Thank them. So for those that don't know what's going on, I'm going to welcome you to the 2016 First Robotics Competition Stronghold Tournament of Games. And this is for the Pacific Northwest Philomath District that we're all competing toward to meet up in Oregon at the Pacific Northwest Championship. So all these teams are working their way to get up to there. And so what we want to do is we're going to have some awesome competition here, because one of the things is these games are going to bring is some cutting-edge technology in these robots, a little bit of fun, and of course there's always the plunder, and that plunder is the awards that we're hoping to score on. And so you'll see a lot of amazing robots here. And the fun part is you, the audience, are our participant in this game to help us be successful. If you will notice, there may be something missing on the field. You, the audience, get to help us pick that. So we'll be talking about that later on when we bring out our amazing, one and only, lead head referee. Not yet. But what we want to do is kick off now and let everybody know this district, after looking at all the other districts that are out there, this district is going to be one of the most impacting districts that is ever being played in the Pacific Northwest, because we have some of the highest quality of teams right here under this roof at Philomath High School. And I'm really excited about this. I think everybody's going to see some great action. That's good. A little bit of music with that always helps. So this is going to be an awesome event. But believe it or not, there's a rookie team that just came in. They were a latecomer from Seattle, so it'll be fun to see. If you don't look at the number, look at their robot, and then you tell me if they're a rookie team, because they have a great little robot. And so we just got news in. Yep, it is. It's news in from our first castle. There's our founder, Mr. Dean Kamen, the advisor, Mr. Woody Flowers, and then also the president, Mr. Don Bosey, has some words of wisdom for us. So why don't we roll that?
Ready your champion. The quest is about to begin.
We hope you're all ready to show your strategy, creativity, and gracious professionalism. After 6 intense weeks, it's time to rally for First Stronghold.
Thank you to all the mentors, sponsors, suppliers, parents, and each of you for making this a great event and season. First works because of your support and determination.
Building your robot was a team effort, and we can't wait to see over 3,000 unique robots developed to score well and succeed.
You're right, Woody, and the teams have already succeeded in many ways just by being here.
Over the next few days, you will learn even more about character and grit.
That's enough talking. Let's get this quest underway and prove why First is so much more than just robots.
First Stronghold, commence.
All right. Our esteemed leaders, who they are. So as we move forward and through things, those guys have some great words, but there's also some people that have made their way through this whole program. They're actually the alumni from First, and there's a couple of them here out of Oregon, and one of them, she's been doing a lot of work, especially she came out of team 997. Is 997 here? Oh, there, yeah, okay. She's not here? Okay, I guess she's stuck in traffic. Okay, so guest number 2. And there's another alumni here. This gentleman is out of team 1425. There's nobody from 1425 here at all? Okay. Oh, come on. There's a couple of you. That's right. This is Eric Code out of Wilsonville High School. He right now has a Bachelor of Science in Engineering out of Olin College of Engineering. I really feel for this guy. He's working on his PhD right now over at OSU. So I asked him, okay, so what is your, what are you doing for work? So he's a starving student. I heard he's taking input and money. But with that, we want to introduce Mr. Luke Hill.
Gonna switch hands. Clicker needs to be on this side. So, hi guys. As I've been awesomely introduced, my name is Luke Hill. I'm actually currently a mentor for Team 997, and as he said, and as Darin said, I was a member of Team 1425 11 years ago. Oh, can I get PowerPoint? Sorry. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Right on cue. When I first joined the team, I joined as a freshman in the electrical sub-team, and I spent my time making circuits, programming little microcontrollers to blink lights, and just general robot wiring stuff. But it wasn't until my first competition, the 2006 Portland Regional, where first really sunk its hooks into me. And what captivated me was the incredible problem solving that the first community leveraged to figure out this really tough problem. How do you make a good robot in 6 weeks? And so to answer this question, I started scouting. And I went scouting in the pits, in the stands. I asked people, why'd you do this? How did you do that? And I just got to marvel at every incredible and unique machine that you guys had made. And I did this for I was the scouting lead all 4 years I was on the team. And I loved it. Eventually, when I did graduate from Error Code 0, I went to Olin College of Engineering, where I spent 4 hard years of project-based learning, witnessing some incredible people make some really clever decisions in this whole area of problem solving. And along the way, I got to make a couple robots, here and there. And when I eventually did graduate from Olin College, my degree said Bachelor of Science in Engineering with a concentration in Robotics and Controls, which is kind of fancy talk for a degree in using math to make things move. But that degree got me here to OSU, where I'm now pursuing a PhD in Robotics and Mechanical Engineering in this really new program with some really awesome faculty. And we've got a ton of robots. Like, this is just a small smattering of the ones we got. And, small smattering of the ones we got. And including my robots in particular, which are based on spiders. Sorry. In particular, what I look at is how robots can use tethers like how spiders use silk. And so one half of my research is looking at how you can throw a tether, kind of like the bola spider does, to grab things far away and pull them towards you, kind of like Indiana Jones' whip. The other half is how to control the robot itself when it is at the end of the tether, kind of like a spider descending a line. Spoiler. This research and the other research in our lab leverages a lot of problem solving and a lot of math. And the reason is math is the language of the physical world. And you need a good language to explain your discoveries to people who haven't even thought of them before. And that's bringing me, kind of as I hinted, to the next part of my talk, which is the lesson part. And it's going to be about math. It's going to be how can you guys use problem solving, or how can you do your problem solving with math? And the math I'm about to invoke in this little lesson here isn't geometry, trigonometry, calculus, or linear algebra. It's actually a branch of math, I use quotations here, that one of my professors at Olin dubbed street fighting math. And the whole premise of street fighting math is you guys, right now, can solve any problem with the math you know, with the math tools you have. All you need to do is just break down the problem into a small enough chunks for you to work on. So I'm going to run you through my example today. I'm going to try to do this really quick. So the problem I'm going to pose is there's been a lot of talk nowadays, past couple decades about being green, being efficient, walking, not driving. And I hear this a whole bunch, and I'm sure you guys have too, and it makes me think, well, okay, that's good and all, but how green can we really be? I mean, what's the efficiency difference between driving and walking? Surely if I shove 5 people in my car, I can go about as far with about the same energy as I can with 5 people walking. So that sets up the first part of this problem breakdown. How do I compare the efficiency of walking versus the efficiency of driving? I mean, cars use gas and people eat Big Macs. I mean, how am I going to compare that? Well, if I take a step back and think about it, let's see. Okay, so gasoline, basically a hydrocarbon, and so is butter. Oh, butter. And Big Macs are basically fat, which is also butter. Sorry. Punchline's failing. So I guess we'll use the butter standard to compare humans to cars. So let's start with cars. I'm going to use my Prius for an example. It gets about 40 miles to the gallon. Thank you. I'm going to stand a little closer. 40 miles to the gallon. And a butter has about the density of water, and water is about 4 pounds per gallon. So that means I've got 4 pounds of butter, and there's about 4 sticks of butter to a pound. So that means I've got 32 sticks of butter. And if I do the math out right, and I divide my car efficiency and turn it into butter, I get about 1.25 miles per butter. But wait, we gotta make sure we're comparing this right, because remember, I have 5 people in my car, so we're gonna make a new unit of distance called person miles. And so I multiply 5 people by my 1.2 miles per butter, and I get 6.2 person miles per butter, and that's the efficiency of my car. Oh, no, that's the efficiency of my car. Okay. Now we're going to do the human walking thing, and we're going to use me as an example. I walk about 2 miles an hour, and I can do about 16 hours a day, and there's 5 of me in this group. So once again, we do the math, and that's about 160 person miles per day. But now I need to figure out how much energy it takes to propel those 5 people that full day. And so I go to my pantry, I open it up, and I look inside, and I see that my cereal tells me that one person needs 2,500 calories. Okay, how much butter is that? I go to my fridge, I open that up, and I see this. And basically it comes down to 1 stick of butter is 800 calories. And I math that all out, and it takes about 15 sticks of butter to get these 5 people those 160 person miles in that day. Okay, so we run through it all, and eventually we end up with this efficiency metric that these 5 people, these 5 me going for this walk are going to get 10 person miles per butter stick, which when you compare it to the car is about twice as efficient. Ta-da! So now you've got a new useless fact for the day to remember. That even the most efficient car with 5 people in it is still about half as efficient as 5 people walking. And I realize this was a really silly little example, but I hope it helped you guys start to understand how you can take these problems, these questions you have, and start breaking them down into answerable problems. Because the world needs you firsties, you guys who aren't afraid to do the math. Who aren't afraid to do the math, who aren't scared of these really tough problems and have these new and brilliant ideas to tackle these, mammoth problems that our world is facing. And I know you guys can do it. So thank you for your attention. I hope you guys have an incredible day, and go robots.
All right. That was awesome. I don't get it. Oh, I'm hungry now. Bring on the popcorn, baby. That's great. Oh, still trying to get through those sticks of butter. Are you going to be selling that stuff out there when the teams get tired? They just go get butter from you? It's like, okay, so moving on. I digress. Sorry. There's some amazing people that have been working really hard behind the scenes, and they're actually in front of us now. And they're going to be walking around throughout this entire day and then through part of tomorrow. And they're going to be working hard because one of the things they're doing is they're seeing how are the teams representing first? How are the teams being gracious and professional with the other teams? How are the teams showing an example? And these folks, they're hiding over here behind us, and we want to introduce them. They're our judges, and their judge advisor is Miss Jan Morrison. I want you guys to stand up. Come on, judges, you got to stand up. Give them a big hand. They're working hard. We're paying them well. We're feeding them. I hope. Anyways, and then there's these other folks. They're hiding around here. I'm sure they're here somewhere. Oh, you can't miss them. They're wearing the stripes. They're run by Mr. Nathan Los, and I wanted him from Autodesk. So Nathan, can you raise your hand, say hi to everybody? You guys too. You guys can say hi too. That's our referees. So Nathan, I'm looking at the field. It's not quite done yet. What's going on here? We got an empty spot here. Are you guys hanging out?
I think we need to figure out what we're going to put in that empty spot.
That's a good idea. You know what we should do?
What is the thing
Let's
that we
get
should
the
do?
audience to help us.
That is a fantastic idea.
That's a great idea. Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. It's up on the screen already. Woo! Okay, so for those that don't know what's going on right now, the audience throughout this entire games are going to get to pick which defense we're going to be putting into these slots. And so as you look at them, I'll give you a little bit of help, and if you're not sure what they look like, one's out here. That's not bad. The moat is right here in position 2. That's there, and then the ramparts, they're not out, but those are really cool. So we need to hear it. I don't need to make it loud, so you got to pick the one you want, because Nathan's going to tell us which one wins. So who wants the moat? Oh.
Keep it going.
Pretty close. Okay, if you're a rampart, you better go big. Who wants ramparts?
That sounds like Ramparts is the winner.
It's the ramparts! Thank you, Nathan. So they're going to bring those out. And here they comes one of them, yep. Now, this is how it's going to be, and it works out really good. The other thing is they're setting this up. We here at part of First and First WA, Pacific Northwest First, they're really tied in. Oregon First, we're all tied in about safety. And with that safety comes our really important safety folks from the UL Industries. They are led by the lead safety advisor, Mr. Mike McGurr. Raise your hand there, Mike. Thank you. So they'll be going around making sure everybody's doing safe things, being smart. But I think already with the group we have in this building, it's pretty good that what they're doing. Just as long as you're not climbing up on top of your toolbox to get to the top of your robot type thing, so that'd be bad. And so I also want to remind the mentors, and I want to remind the parents that, everybody we need an exit plan. If there's an emergency, we need to know what to do. Talk amongst your team, work out an exit plan if there's something going on here. Listen to the overheads if you need direction, but have a place to meet outside the building. So make sure the teams work together and come up with an exit plan here. If there's an emergency, that way we make sure that everybody gets out of here safe if there is a problem. Moving forward. Am I missing something? Okay. There's some amazing students in this building. And these students' names are the nominees for the Dean's List for the 2016. So these first students, and as I try to tell every student, every one of these students on the teams belongs up there with their names. But there's also those extra students that take that extra effort within the team to make it a little more, and that's where they end up a lot of times. And those are usually selected by their mentors. And so, if you're a student and you really want to get in that Dean's List, then maybe talk to your mentors and say, what can I do to get better or to make myself better? Work with your mentors. Ask your mentors, students, what can you do to make yourself better? And I'm sure the mentors are really good at doing that. And then also, the mentors, the coaches, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, your friends, the siblings. I want to give you a big hand right now for all the work you do on your teams. Thinking how many dinners you brought or how many lunches you brought during the build season. How late you stayed and somebody went out and got snacks from McDonald's because they wanted a bunch of fries. I've done that. It's all good. It's really good. And then just to let people know, these coaches, mentors and stuff, they're also probably working on junior FLL teams, or they're working on first Lego League teams, or they're working on first Tech Challenge teams. So a lot of these mentors and coaches don't stop here at the first robotics competition. They actually work a lot outside of that, and no different than all of our volunteers. And I think that's really cool how people have stepped up for that. And as we step up to things, I need everybody and this entire audience to stand up. Everybody stand up. Come on. A little bit of exercise. Stand up. Remove your hat. I removed mine. And as we set for that, I want to introduce from the Oregon National Guard, 2nd Battalion, the 162nd Infantry, bring in the color guard, and the national anthem sung by Michelle Anderson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right. Thank you, Michelle. All right. Sorry. All right. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Welcome. Let the Pacific Northwest Stronghold Tournament of Games begin. Teams, come out. Fire up your robots.